what are like the most important ones, or maybe the ones that kind of get people dinged and now for?
I mean, addresses is one of the biggest ones, not having the right address. So like your Secretary of State address is set up as, maybe it's still your registered agent, but you're in a commercial office with post office markings on it. Your Secretary of State should be matched up with that same address, because then the chances are your tax return address probably isn't the right address either, right? So like address is like the very first place to start. Do you have a website? Like, do you have a basic, verifiable, legit setup website? It doesn't need to be anything extravagant, but it should be a domain name that's purchased by you that matches up with your company and matches up with the emails that you're using. Because if you're sending yourself in an email from sales@blueskybizsolution@gmail.com and your domain is blueskybizsolutions.com, banks are like, why didn't you take the extra steps to put a Gmail account or MSN account or whatever, a Microsoft account in place so that your domain matches on your email address that matches with your website? I mean, that's just like saying to somebody like, look, I'm lazy, I'm going to flap this stuff on there, right? Like, is it super necessary? No, but it counts against you. Are you still using a personal cell phone number versus having a business phone number that's functioning off of a CRM or some other cell phone that's a business line? Industry codes. I came across a client a few months ago now. They did graphic, like commercial wraps, and their NAICS code, and I don't know who set these up for them, was a church and a daycare center. I'm like, I don't think you're a church and a daycare center, and I sure as heck don't think the banks are going to think that's funny, right? So like, let's get this accurately reflecting on what it is that you're doing. On the same token, we don't want to niche down too far on that either, because if you're doing like remodeling, and part of the remodeling that you're doing is like remediation work, and renovation, kind of stuff for like natural disasters, you get flooded, whatever. But you're not doing actual like super deep hazmat stuff, right? Then we don't want to say and have your industry code set up that you're a hazmat company, because you just raise your risk level like 15 times above where it needs to be, right? So it's little things like that, but it's also your social media, right? Like, does your social media stuff reflect accurately what you're doing? Do you have a presence? Is the presence good? What do your Google reviews look like? What does your Google My Business page look like? Is it set up and clearly articulate what you're doing? Does it conflict with anything else and cause any kind of confusion, right? Those are the basic layers that they can get you flagged and rejected before it ever even gets to looking at your credit on your personal or your business.